You didn't sleep last night, did you? Not because you were busy, not because you were sick, because your brain decided 2 a.m. was the perfect time to replay that conversation you had 3 years ago and figure out what you should have said. If that hit you in the chest, stay here. Because today we're talking about the psychology of people who overthink everything. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to understand yourself in a way most people never do. Let's get one thing straight first. Overthinking isn't a character flaw. It's not weakness. It's not being dramatic. It is, in fact, a sign of something science finds genuinely fascinating. Overthinkers are usually the most loyal friends, the most careful decision makers, and the most empathetic people in any room. But here's the cruel irony. They're also the most exhausted, because their brain never shuts off. You send a text and immediately analyze the punctuation you used. Was that period too aggressive? Should it have been a comma? Did I sound cold? Why haven't they replied? Did I say something wrong 3 weeks ago that they're still thinking about? You plan for scenarios that will probably never happen. You rehearse conversations before they occur. You lie in bed solving problems that don't exist yet. And the world looks at this and says, just relax, stop overthinking. As if that helps. As if your brain has an off switch that you've somehow just forgotten to use.
Here's what's actually happening. Psychologists call it maladaptive self-reflective thinking. But let me translate that into plain language. Your brain is wired to detect threats. Way back in early human history, this was a survival tool. The person who thought 3 steps ahead didn't get eaten by a predator. They lived, they thrived. Overthinkers, you're running that same ancient software, but in a world where the threats are emails, social situations, and what someone meant by that one look they gave you. There's also something called the default mode network, a part of your brain that activates when you're not actively doing a task. In most people, it quietly idles. In overthinkers, it narrates, it critiques, it hypothesizes. It builds entire alternate realities out of a single seen notification. And here's what's wild. Studies show that people who overthink tend to have higher emotional intelligence. They notice what others miss. They pick up on tone shifts, micro-expressions, the things left unsaid. The problem isn't that you think too much. The problem is that most of you have never been taught what to do with all of that.
But let's be real for a second, because there's a cost to living like this. Decision fatigue. You overthink so hard that making even small choices, what to eat, what to say, whether to send that message, becomes genuinely draining. Paralysis. Some of you have a dream sitting in a notes app right now, a business, a conversation you need to have, a move you want to make, and it's been sitting there for months because your brain keeps finding new reasons why it might go wrong. And the loneliest part, you often can't explain this to people who don't experience it. I just can't stop thinking. Sounds like an excuse, but you and I both know it's a full-time job you never applied for. So, if you've ever felt like your brain is working against you, you're not broken. You're just carrying something most people don't understand. Now, here's the part most videos won't tell you. Overthinking, when it's redirected, is one of the most powerful cognitive tools a person can have. The same brain that spirals at 2 a.m. is the brain that catches the mistake before it happens, that writes the thoughtful apology, that builds the plan everyone else missed. Research from UC Santa Barbara found that people prone to deep self-reflection scored significantly higher on creative problem solving. Not in spite of their rumination, because of it. Some of the most successful people you admire, writers, founders, scientists, artists, quietly, relentlessly overthinking. They just learn to aim it at something productive. The difference between destructive overthinking and productive deep thinking is direction, not volume. Destructive. What if everything goes wrong? Productive. What's the most likely problem and what's my plan for it? Same brain, different target. So let me give you something real to walk away with today. First, name it, don't feed it. When your brain starts spiraling, say it out loud or write it down. I am overthinking right now. Naming the pattern interrupts it. You stop being inside the spiral and start watching it from the outside. Second, give it a deadline. Overthinkers think they need more time to decide. You don't. Set a timer, 5 minutes to think about the problem, then you act or you let it go. Your first instinct is usually right. Your 10th? That's just anxiety in a trench coat. Third, ask one question that cuts through everything. Will this matter in 5 years? Most of what we spiral about, the text, the look, the meeting, disappears in 5 weeks, let alone 5 years. That question is a shortcut to perspective when your brain has lost it. And finally, find people who think like you, because overthinkers in isolation become their own worst critics. But overthinkers around the right people, they become the most thoughtful, creative, deeply connected humans in any room.
You are not too much. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive or too in your head. You are someone whose brain never gave up trying to understand the world, even when the world didn't slow down long enough to appreciate that. The goal isn't to think less. The goal is to think better. And if you've made it this far, trust me, you're already doing it. Now tell me in the comments, what's one thing your brain overthinks most? Is it relationships, decisions, things you said 5 years ago? I read every single one. And if you want to go deeper into the psychology of how your mind actually works, the next video will change the way you see yourself. Click it. You'll know why you needed it.